cat is running late. She's listening in the background. It's probably the best way to listen to me. Best way to listen to me is in the background. Let's see, guys. I gotta put my shoes on. Look at my poor shoe. I still haven't duct taped it, but I'm working on it. A little more damage, and I'll put the duct tape on. The other shoe is holding up a little better. It's not disintegrating, at least. So welcome, new week. And we're halfway through the month, just about. August seems to be flying by. Before we know it, it's going to be Halloween. And then Christmas. So then we start the whole thing over again, right? Sort of. Time is kind of arbitrary. Hey, Sissy.
I applied to over...
Sissy, for some reason, I felt compelled this morning to pull out, it was back there, right behind me, my copy of New Earth. Not to reread, but to skim through. I think there's something in there that wants me to review it. I wrote this morning that I'm coming to an end of a year-long immersion back into A Course in Miracles. It's never left me since the day I picked it up, 1990 something. But this past year was the hey Maharashtrian, how are you, my friend? Namaskar Dada. Welcome, my friend. It's been a few weeks since we've seen you. Well, a week or two. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I ever parted with A Course in Miracles, but this past year, the urge to fully immerse myself back into it with the daily study, to become a student again. You know, Suzuki Roshi wrote Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. I needed a beginner's mind. And oddly enough, I found in the beginner's mind, the call to be somewhat of a teacher. Now, I don't really consider myself a Course in Miracles teacher per se. Sorry, I just wanted to make bunny rabbit ears. But from the perspective of A Course in Miracles, you teach what you most need to learn. So I think I had to start teaching in order to fully implement. Let's see. Hey, Daniel. Daniel says, thanks today. Good, my friend. Well, I'm glad to hear. Welcome in. Mas Racing gives us a shrug. I agree. Sometimes you just got to shrug. Life's a mystery. To us. We're not supposed to know everything. We're just supposed to be astonished by everything. I think I mentioned my friend James Plath, who wrote the book, The Gospel of Astonishment. He's got a great YouTube channel. You guys should visit James Plath, Plath, just like the poet Sylvia. Wrote The Bell Jar. Believe it won the Pulitzer Prize. Hey, Liam. Warning system permanent ban will occur if live video does not end in 1 minute. Yeah, well, we all take chances in life. What's up, Johnny Cash? Hi, Anna. Anna says, good morning, Yogi. Good morning, everyone. Sissy says, I can sincerely relate to teaching in order to the learning experience. Goes both ways. It does. Absolutely. So yeah, I found that I was called to deeply immerse myself back into the teaching. I had to adopt the beginner's mind, and yet in the beginner's mind, and that's important to do, because we can become so full of ourselves and our version of A Course in Miracles, our version of Zen, our version of yoga, meditation, Buddhism, that we forget the essence isn't a version. The essence is completely transparent. The essence is simply living your life with complete honesty, trust, love, kindness, forgiveness. Hey, Shirley. Shirley says, greetings and getting coffee. I just finished my cup a little bit ago. Actually, not quite an hour ago. One more would really be good, but I can't afford to give myself one more. I think my minute's up, Liam. I'm waiting for everything to go poof. Have you ever actually heard the sound poof before? So, I mean that. Let me know. Have you ever heard actually something go poof? I'm trying to think if I have. I think if anyone has ever heard the sound poof, it's going to be Sissy. I think Sissy's probably heard the word poof before. Hey, Jace. This is Good Morning Monday greetings. Good morning to you, my friend. I was grumbling at Jace this morning, making me do all those burpees yesterday. Anna says, good morning, Jace. Send some love. Sissy says, good morning, Anna. Jace sends some love to Shirley, as we all should. And as we all do. Anna says, good morning to Maharashtra. So yeah, a year plus, to be honest. Because as I've spent some more days with certain lessons that I think needed it. Hey, Sniper. I knew this was way back in June or July of last year. Election season going on, country divided, the world a mess. Give me 1 second. How dare I lock my cat out? She's scolding me right now. You hear? But soon, all will be forgiven. Probably after she sinks her claws into my leg. And it says, how are you this morning, Yogi? I'm a little sore this morning. I got a big workout coming up. I will be live streaming my workout. It's going to be double jerks, 3 3-minute sets, probably with 18 kilograms, and set of snatches. Thanks for being here, Masfarastian. Anna says, good morning to Kat. Jay says, hey, Kat. She's not talking to you. She's convinced that you are talking to her. And also some things going on in my personal life, and I didn't even realize all the other stuff that was going to be happening in just a few short months. But I knew that I would not survive the year in some ways if I didn't do something. And the answer for me has always been meditate, to love, to forgive. And that was why it was pull out the course. And again, it's not like it had ever left me. It's been a constant source in my life forever. Hey, Lee. But to go as deeply into it as I possibly could, to surrender everything as much as I could, and to relearn how to trust. What? I just had a spider crawl across my wall. Welcome, spider. Don't judge me. I like spiders. They're a blessing. Sissy says, laughing, we cannot be fooled. Our fur babies are the shot palace. That's what she thinks. That's what my cat thinks. She's probably right. Meditation, love, forgiveness. For me. Lee says, Jason, have you had your 4 yogurts this morning? Maharasi gives us a wave. Anna says, good morning to Lee. So, Anna says, yep, at the usual time, 8:20. I don't know why 8:20. I don't know why 5:25 for my live streams. It just sort of works. Um, Trusting's a big thing. Truly, truly, truly trusting. Not trusting someone else. Eventually, people are always going to let you down. Sort of. I don't mean that in a bad way. People are going to let them down if you place undue expectations upon them. And every expectation that you have with another is undue, because it's my own lens of perception that I'm placing on someone else. It's not someone's responsibility to meet that whatsoever. So when we have a life of complete surrender, a life of trust, to the extent that we're able, moment by moment by moment, day after day, it has absolutely nothing to do with people. Everything to do with your inner condition of opening and saying, yeah, I don't mind using the word God, but I know some people have negative connotations with that expression. Change it. The universe, the Tao, Buddha consciousness, the great isness, life. Doesn't matter. If you trust life, it means you're allowing life to happen for your benefit, which of course it already has by virtue of you being here. Jay says, I think you just said the magic word, Eric. It's all lessons. We never stop learning. We just forget we're on this journey, and we all start learning again. The Course loves to present it as our classroom. Are you learning the lesson of love? Or as Jay said, are you forgetting the lesson of love? It's okay if you forget. It's okay. How can you practice forgiveness without forgiving yourself for forgetting that the lesson is always forgiveness? What a beautiful opportunity to forget that the lesson is forgiveness. Remember, forgiveness is simply recognizing the deep essence of love of which we all are. It's not saying, I forgive you for the crappy thing that you did. It's recognizing that the only reason you did a crappy thing was because you didn't know any better. You had forgotten your own innocence, but guess what? I remember it. I remember who you are. I remember your innocence. I see you deeply. I also realize that maybe right now, where you are and where I am, I might need a little distance. Physically. Even emotionally. But in essence, in hard essence, there is no distance. There's no time, there's no space, there's no distance. You know, none of that existed until the expansion of the universe called for it. And like that, space, time, and distance came. Amazing to think, no? Hey, Medic. How are you? We don't often see Medic at this time of the morning, for me. But it's always nice to see you, my friend. Thank you, Maharastian. Thank you for sharing that message, Jace. Hey, Praveen. Salute, Yogi. Salute, Praveen. Yogi and Jace, sir. Cat is in the background listening, Praveen. Don't be reckless with other people's hearts, and don't tolerate people who are reckless with yours. Thank you, Medic. Lee says, I think it's down to application and heart also. Oh, there's Shirley says, Lee, I can say good morning to you. I don't usually see you until the afternoon. This is wonderful. Shirley says, Kat, it will all work out. Jay says, I have the warm tingle, that loving energy. Thank you. Feel strong. Thanks for sharing it, Jace. Thanks for showing up and sharing it daily. So, again, forgiveness. You can set boundaries. You can, on the surface, on the level of form, you can do whatever it takes for you to feel safe, for the other person to be safe, for, you can say, I need distance. You can do whatever on the level of form. But forgiveness is about the formlessness itself, saying, I recognize. It's the essence of namaste. the divinity, the light within me, recognizes and salutes the divinity within you. The love within me, of which I am, recognizes and forgives the essence of love that is within you. So we are dealing with the formlessness itself, but on the level of form, we do what's needed. If that's setting a boundary, if it's letting someone go in your life, if it's whatever, so be it. But on the level of the formless, of which reality is, because remember, form always changes. Things come, things go. It's the essence of Buddhism. Don't hitch your horse, don't hitch your wagon to that which is going to change, because it'll change and you'll find there's no hitch. There was definitely a mixed metaphor that was probably not worth saying. But you do what you can. This is why it's hard for me to consider myself a teacher of A Course in Miracles, because of my mixed metaphors. Om Namah Shivaya. Shirley says, Jason, it's a dream come true to see you at the start of my day. Thank you. Felix says, I had a warm feeling followed by intense pain scratching. Then I realized I sat on the cat. That poor cat. The cat had a realization too. Cat had a warm feeling of what the heck. Hey, is that mine channel? Like 12. Appreciate that. Morning, RW. We're going to go in a few minutes. Take a little bit of a longer walk. It's actually cooled down. Yesterday was 95. Today is a high of 75. I'm wondering if more things are going to pop out. The owls are mating, so they're very, very noisy. They got that wild sound to them. Man, it sends shivers up and down my spine when I hear that. It just sounds like pure wildness. And there was a beaver sighting. I'm shy of a fox. Maybe today. You never know. Praveen says, oh my God, owl. Yeah, I love seeing owls. I didn't get a clear shot of the beaver or the owl yesterday, but I did catch him. As I mentioned before, what I want to do is get the trifecta, one morning's walk. If I did it in the course of a day, that would be okay, my 3 walks. But specifically, to get that perfect trifecta, the Triple Crown, is on one morning walk to get a film clip of beaver, owl, and fox. Yesterday was beaver and owl. Not great, but they count. I did not see a fox. He says, do you think the beaver has an ego when constructing a dam? Like mine's better than yours? Nope, not at all. For one thing, beavers act in cooperation with each other, which we have a hard time doing. The reason we have a hard time doing it, because we can't act in cohesion. Cohesion? Am I saying that right? Because the ego prevents it. Even when it seems, now, every once in a while, we'll be doing something, particularly if we meditate together, when there's the veil is lifted. We see straight through the ego, and the cohesiveness. Cohesiveness is easier for me to say. So from now on, I'm just going to say cohesiveness. Everything flows together. That's what the Czechoslovakian Mihai, with every single vowel and consonant possible, arranged in the various forms. I can't pronounce his last name. He's the first one to really introduce the flow state as a principle to us. Flow is that perfect synchronistic coming together. where the ego drops and we're just pure action. Hey, easy. There you go. Sepa says we're seeing each other as competition. So remember, the key is not to so just recognize the ego. Smile at it. But don't go to battle with it. Because the only thing that can battle, and don't even try to drop it. Don't go to extreme length of defying the ego. Because that's the ego seeking an identity. I am a spiritual searcher. I'm a spiritual this. I'm a spiritual this. I am transcending the ego. I'm better than the ego. I am this. I am that. My lack of ego is better than your lack of ego. My spiritual identity, epiphany, is greater and better than your spiritual identity and epiphany. Just see it for what it is. It's an illusion. It's a belief. It's a construct of belief. Things that we've gathered through the years. I've always considered myself more of a goose. Maybe that's because in grade school, there's this sense of incompletion from that very last game as a kid of duck, duck, goose. It left me off at goose. Never returned. They never came around and said duck. I was left with that feeling of goosiness. For better, for worse. My preference would have been duck. I have a very deep, deep love of ducks. Geese, man, I fully understand why geese are the assholes that they are. I can appreciate it. Certain times of the year, though, man. Anyway, that's you just open up a whole big emotional can of worms. And unless you're willing to sit in a chair as I lie on a couch and pour out my sense of incompletion by being labeled a goose, we should probably change the subject. Hey, Samuel. Samuel, how are you, my friend? Praveen says, sir, I want to run with you 10K. It's not for who got the best time. It's about your company while running a 10K. That would be awesome. Better yet, let's run a 50K together. Me and a friend, my friend Matt, you guys seen him. He shows up as Jennifer Kerstetter. Known him for 30 years. I've never pronounced his last name correctly. Are in negotiation for maybe doing a 25K in October. He says, Yogi, I think you read that. He was talking about ask if you squat. I do squat. I've returned to squats, to barbell squats. About 2 minutes, guys. Maharisa says, ta-ta and bye-bye, Jace. Praveen says, my best time to complete 10K in India military is 19 minutes. Wow, fast, fast. Up, sissy, we're not going down that road. This is where I demonstrate. This is where I demonstrate my ability to transcend. Right now, I'm entering a deep yogic state of meditation. I'm moving away from the mushiness of the world towards a solid foundation of non-mushed food. Okay, I'm back. I've done it. I just right there in that moment, I might have just become enlightened. I'm not sure. I'll have to check in later. Kat says, I love you, Praveen. Praveen says, love you, Yogi sir. I love you too, Praveen. I'm with Kat on this. I love you too. ADHD says, transcend what? I don't know. Whatever there is to be transcended. Lentil soup. Well, I'm not much of a soup, so I'm gonna be unaffected by that. I'm not much of a soup person. My lentils are firm and nourishing, and they are served with rice and potatoes. Again, the word is firm. Sissy says, I love lentil soup and hummus. Easy says, Cat and Jack, close sister. Free says, Maharasian Apna Kayal Jahind. Hey, Skits. No mushroom broth. Thank you, Sniper. This is why Sniper is the top mod. Julie says, good morning, son. Yep, I recognize the Hindi, but I couldn't pronounce all of it. Jay says, Korean brother, Jace sees a lot of running and used to have a few Army records, but that was 30 years ago now. Skit says, Sir, chat, happy Monday. You're awesome, an amazing week. Have an awesome and amazing week. You too, Skits. We'll be off to a good start. I am off to a good start. I've actually been up for over 3 hours now. Just about 2:15. I did not sleep well last night. Praveen says, Jace is so super fit, and I have not. You can still break many Army records. I have never set any records in my races. Well, you know, my own personal records. I have won my age group. I got, if you see that thing up in the corner there, that direction at the very top, little, what is that shape? Is that oval? That's for running my age group in a 24-hour event. The reason I won, because it was completely miserable. It snowed the night before. It warmed up. The snow melted on a all-grass course, became a mud sheet, and then it rained, and then it got cold again through the night. And then in the morning, the sun came out, and it heated up. This was in North Carolina. North Carolina in late March. So the weather was all over the place. And the vast majority of people ran a little bit and then went back in their tents. The 24-hour race, so you could do whatever you wanted. And for whatever reason, the worse things got in any race, the more I liked it. And I'm a firm believer that it's not the weather, it's the gear. You know what I mean? If you have the right stuff. Skis says, is that oval? Yogi on a racetrack 2025. I am most definitely interested, Sissy. What I want is a video from Sissy on the spiritual implications of embracing the mushiness of life. It's a message only Sissy can present. So yeah, you know, if you got the proper gear. All my gear was cheap. I never went top notch. I did it earlier, back in my long distance backpacking days. But running, you know, Target, Walmart, it seemed to work just as well as anything else. Implications of I don't know if I can repeat what I don't even know if I can remember what I said. It was along the themes of mushiness. Jay says, not only easy, but peasy too. It's the most difficult task. It's the most difficult spiritual task we're assigned. Praveen. Praveen turns to the dark side with a P offering. It's a good thing that I have embraced forgiveness as a way of life. I've come in second and third place for my age group in 5Ks as well, which for me is even more impressive than the long stuff because I'm not a natural speedy person. I'm more of a grit my teeth and put up with it type of person. Sissy says, I'll listen back to hear it again. I'm not sure if it's worth it, Sissy. Julie says, Yogi, you can go ahead on your walk. We'll just visit. Hey, that's a good question. If I were to press the end of the live stream but not press the finish, I think the message stays up and you guys could still text each other. If you ever want me to do that, let me know. Let's see. Jay says, Eric, when you do a specific army training, you're faced with sleep deprivation, but under immense physical demands, and still have to be cognitive. 4 days is a long haul. I bet. I bet. The hardest part for 24 and longer races, 24-hour and longer races for me, wasn't to keep moving for 24 hours. It was later in the week dealing with that loss of sleep. Sleep deprivation was never a problem for me as I was doing it, but it was later, at least as I got older. It took a while to get back on track. I might do a 24-hour race again. I had wanted to do a 6-day race. And had I not stopped ultra running, had not COVID come along and shut things down, I may have done a 200-mile race. Hey, Carl. Just talking about 200-mile races with Carl yesterday because his personal hero, David Goggins, little hurt that I'm not Carl's personal hero, but it's okay. I'll get over it. I'll forgive. I'll move on. David Goggins is Carl's personal hero, and he just finished a 200-mile race. Yeah, you're right about that, Jace. I never really had too many issues. Mocha, when she would do 24-hour races, she would sleep run. Our first 24-hour race was in a swamp, northern North Carolina. The largest, most northern place where alligators are located. And she would fall asleep, but would keep running. I'd have to grab her to keep her from going in the swamp. Carl says, laughing, says, Yogi, you're Batman? All right, I'll take that. I'll take that. All right, let me head out and take my walk, guys. I love you. I'm going to see everyone later. Thanks for being here. Fun conversation. I will be back 8:20. I'll be working out. Praveen says, bye. Goodbye, my friend. Hey, Nino. Nino says, later, Yogi. Nino, you need to let me know when you're here, my friend. Nino is a great, great presence over at cats. Anyone who shows up and supports and gives love to cat is automatically going to be a moderator here and is going to be treated like a long lost friend. Welcome in, Nino, sorry. Need to double check. I was not subscribed to you. I apologize. I should have been. I am now. Be happy, be relaxed, and enjoy. All right. Nina says, oh, thanks, Yogi, bro. No, thank you. Thank you for being such a good friend to Kat. Thank you for the kind words you always offer me whenever I show in. And welcome. Just says, I got you too, Nino. Shirley says, I'll be missing action later. You will certainly be missed. That's for sure. Shirley, you will certainly be missed. All right. I got to go. I feel things a-stirring out there. By the way, if you want to sound down homey, folksy, just add an A in front of any words. A waitin', I'm a sittin', I'm a see you later. Just put an A in front of any word. It works. Try it. Cat, try that sometime today. Let your boss know. I'm going to home. I'm heading to home. It works. All right, guys. I'll see you later.